Ladies and gentlemen, it's another one of those wonderful days where I am expending all of my time for others and not for myself. Yay! Because that's what I do. So, for some of you who don't understand, this is the remonstrance petition, the memorial, the petition for redress before Congress. This is just one of the petitions that are going to be a combined petition going to Congress under the memorial, remonstrance, right to petition a branch of government for redress of grievance. Now, hold on now. So let me let you know. 300 pages! And that's just to one branch of government. You hear that in the background? Okay, that's my printer going. 300 pages! Now, that's my expense, not yours. Remember, all of this, my expense. I didn't ask y'all for a dime. I don't want your money. Okay. I got to say that because some people will think that I'm trying to beg and ask, and others will think, oh, no, I need to help him out because he needs help. Oh, God. And the answer is no. Don't do it because I said no. Don't impose your will upon me because we will have a problem. Okay. So glad I got that out of the way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is being sent out. That's what today is for. Yay! I wanted to wait till Wednesday, but I said, no, I promised these people, that's my job. I'm that trustee, fiduciary. Let me take care of my business. So that's my business to take care of today. Now, hold on now. Hold on now. We ain't finished. Hold on. I want y'all to pay attention. See this right here? See that right there? This is the redress site. Doesn't matter where you go. We can go here to home. Take me home. And you click on that. Uh-oh. That's not supposed to be pulling up like that. So we got to take care of that. I'm sorry. That's not supposed to be pulling up like that because we don't want that one. I'm leaving that there, but we got some glitches in the API, and so I'm gonna leave that there. I'm not going to touch it. All right, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go redressright.me for now and do /AGENT. Just agent. And hit enter. Uh-oh, I put a 1 at the end because I hit enter too hard. And my finger slid off onto that 1. Whoo. Uh-oh. Let me see. I had agent in here before. Hold on. Where you at, agent? Oh, it's a capital A. Okay, agent with a capital A .html. So redressright.me and agent with a capital A. Okay, because he a capitalized agent. All right. Now that we got that taken care of, and I'm not going to change it. I can change it to a lowercase, but we're going to put agent in its proper form. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, these are your agents. Okay, pay attention. These are your agents. They work the same as my agents on the other. Okay, we're giving that to y'all, but you're going to have to, for now, type an agent. I'm going to update the site a little bit later. I don't have time because I got to finish that stuff, okay, for y'all. Oh, by the way, you get to create your own agent on this site to use with your stuff. You can tell it whatever the name of your agent is, rely on that agent, and it will rely on your agent. Woohoo! Oh, by the way, it's not redressright.com. It's redressright.me. Yeah, that's because I'm admin, and so, you know. All right, and pay attention. You get to sit up here and ask yourself questions. Okay, then you get the chitty whack with the chitty chat. Wake up. Oh, stop listening. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have to put in your API keys. We talked about getting this is not, watch this. Well, this is on my computer, and I did put this already in here. So let's see if I can save. Where's my save? Key save. Let's test that connection. Cannot read it, okay? Because it can't save it. I don't. These are dummies. So because I don't have a Gork API key. But oh, by the way, you can use Gork, okay? Because its free version gives you a whole lot more to play with. But you'll have to introduce your API keys, and I wasn't prepared for that right now. But here are all the different API keys you get to add, okay? Yay! And oh, wait, hold on. You get to do custom API keys. That's for those that are not listed. Whew, so glad we got that taken care of. Oh, you also can do the Telegram bot token, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we're still printing signatures. Yep, all of your signatures That's what's taking up most of the space. I've already printed over 200 pages of signatures. Whew. Because when I was putting this together, I decided, no, just in case they don't think that there are actual signatures associated, we gonna give them that. And the printer I have is a workhorse. I'm gonna be upgrading to another printer anyway because I do so much printing around here. So I have to take a breath for a second, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a lot going on. Oh, pay attention. AI agent. It's already in the bar, so you don't have to type in agent. It's already in the man, I forgot it. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. AI agent. This is how you get to your AI agents. Now hold on. Create agents, ask agents, blah blah blah. Okay? See that right there? That's for you. And this is your preference says as to how you want your agent to operate. And it will keep your history. And look at that. Arbitration specialist. Tax expert. Look, legal expert. Do you understand? This is for y'all. Wait, hold on. Here's the best part. You're going to love this. It's free. Okay? Give me a second. Let me test some things out. No, because we got to let you know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there is a glitch in the API key recording. I'm working on it now. I will be able to take care of it later today. So by the time, I don't know, after February 24th, you're watching this video, it will have been corrected. By the way, I didn't know why it was asking for state, but this is specific to your state, so it only pulls up the laws and everything concerning your state. That's actually pretty good. It's about time somebody thought of doing that. Was it you? No, it was me. Okay, hold on. Do you see? I said scholarly, or I can do formally legal, or I can do conversation, or I can do direct and to the point, because I ain't got time. Okay? And you say that. Now, here's the thing. It keeps track of your expressions and your information. Give me 1 second. I got to put more paper in the bin because because it's over, almost 2,000 names. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot of paper. I've already gone through 400 pages. I'm putting in more paper now. Like I said, all at my expense and my labor. They're going to get charged for this. You better believe it. All right. Now, we've got the paper back in, and we let the computer pick up. You have no idea. Just this envelope alone will weigh over several pounds, and so the post office will charge me for those poundages. You know, I could send it UPS. I think I might send it UPS. Lord have mercy. That's a great idea. So I think I might send it UPS and slap a UPS label on it. It'll be a lot cheaper. Oh, that is so great. All right, look, I just want to let you know, this right here is for y'all. You won't be able to chat right now because there's no API key. Wake up. What time is it in Los Angeles? Stop listening. You see, the API key is not registering, so you won't be able to chat with it just yet, but you can start setting it up for handling your business right now. But again, this was put up for you guys. Again, the agents work with each other to get the answer you need. Ta-da! And yes, you can do that to chat directly with an agent. You hear me? All right. So that's for y'all. We'll be updating this one. This is different than mine, okay? That's why I got to go through all of this. See, mine, I ain't got to do all that because, like right here. Okay, well, y'all already saw me put that one in. Let's go to another empty chat. Wake up. Did you know that the United States allows individuals to do memorials and or redress petition and or remonstrances to the United States Congress, either through the Senate or through the House of Representatives? Question mark. Stop listening. Lord have mercy, there's a lot of paper, y'all. I mean, we're talking about 500 such plus pages all just now, 500 plus pages, and that's just your signatures. It hasn't even gotten to the petition. Let me see, what number are we at on the signatures? Give me a second. Oh, it says 21. Woo-wee, we're down to 21. It looks like we're going to be having a petition in a minute. Yeah, so now I don't have to do your signature separate. Let's read what it had to say, okay? Venue identified, layperson. This response is directed to an individual seeking clarification on the right, blah, 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 blah. This constitutional foundation is explicit. Congress shall make no law abridging the right of the people to petition the government for a redress of grievances. State United States Constitution, First Amendment. The term government includes legislative branch. A memorial petition or remonstrance directed to the Senate or the House is a direct exercise of this secured right. The right is not a matter of constitutional, congressional, and or Supreme Court and or administrative branch grace or their policies. It is a fundamental, competent component of social compact, blah, 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 blah. Okay, any attempt by government to refuse, rebuttal. Wake up. I need you to give me a cover letter that expresses exactly that to the United States Congress to the, comma, as there are more than 1,700 signatures on the document that are done electronically, comma, and the signatures are on file, even though some signatures may appear blank. The system recorded the signature and recorded the individual's intent. And that's why we gathered more signatures than are necessary for such a remonstrance. / petition for redress / memorial. Period. The issues of the Federal Reserve and its member banks ignoring the at-par doctrine, comma, receiving notes at par but fraudulently claiming that there's an outstanding balance, and the court supporting this operates as a conspiracy against rights. Period. Congress explicitly stated notes are received at par, comma, that they are securities, comma, that they are eligible paper, comma, that they are collateral. And yet the banks are ignoring this and seizing homes without due process of law, comma, and therefore the United States Congress has an obligation, period. Two petitions combined as one, comma, demanding correction of the wrongs, i.e., redress, period. Redress implies a duty to act, and a failure to act while having a duty to act under the Constitution is a criminal act when it is laid upon those who have taken an oath to uphold the exact premise for which the Constitution has been enacted, comma, to protect the rights of the people as a whole and individually. Exclamation mark. Stop listening. I have to have a cover letter, y'all. So that's what I have to do before I get out of here. And so that's what this is all about. And that's what it's all about. Hokey pokey. Okay? So I got to go put my foot in somebody's, Congress's anus. What, you put your left foot in, you take your right foot out, and that's what I do, both branches of Congress. Oh, no, this ain't, you think I'm just writing a letter. No. We're doing a petition for redress. We're highlighting Congress admitted that they violated everybody's rights. Oh, the paper has just finally finished. Oh, God, it just finished. Oh, you have no idea how happy I am that it just finished. Oh. Now, I do something different. I don't sign the last page. I sign the first page because the law only requires that it be signed. Now, give me a second. No. Wake up? No. Comma, because you mentioned codification. Comma, the code was done more than 49 years after the act was enacted. Comma, which means, comma, the codification cannot apply to the act which was passed by an overwhelming majority of Congress because it overrode a presidential veto. Period. So no, comma, we are relying on the act of Congress and the statute at large, and not a codification which is written by an editorial commentary advisory committee. Stop listening. Sorry, he did give me the petition, but he kept using U.S. code, and we ain't gonna play that U.S. code stupidity. See, 42, Title 42. Ain't nobody. Now he does say codification editorially at reference and reference editorially, blah blah blah. I don't want to hear that. I don't care about no code. I want the statute at large and the act of Congress. And so, ta-da! Okay. So let's see if he did better this time. Give me a second. Let's see how he wrote it. You're absolutely correct. My previous response incorrectly referenced the United States Code as a codification in parenthetical citations. This was an error in addressing the mandatory protocol. The United States Code is editorial commentary, not law, and citing it as codification grants it authority it does not possess. The law is solely the act of Congress and its publications in the statutes at large. See, that's what people don't know. The U.S. Code is not a publication of the laws of Congress. The statute at large is. Pay attention. The statutes at large is the publication. It is the codification. Shh, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. So I will correct the cover letter immediately, removing the reference to the U.S. Code and relying exclusively on the Act of Congress. Now, I take this. Well, I'm going to just do the export, because we export stuff around here, because we worried about tariffs. Man, them tariffs are a man. Give me 1 second. I need to go up for a second. No, not that one. Right here. My dogs have just been howling like all the other dogs in the neighborhood, and I ain't gonna bother them. They've been good mutts lately, and the one that hops around all the time, he's now limping. Apparently, he didn't hop too much and then did too much. We checked his paw the other day; he ain't broken or anything. So, ta-da. Give me 1 second. That's gonna be the title. I'm gonna do it two ways. See, first I got to do it because we're opening up the Word document, but it's asking me to save it right here. And so we're gonna put this in, but it's gonna give me an error message. See, that error message is because at the beginning of this is a colon, and the colon is, well, it was right after presumption. See right there, right after presumption. So I just took that colon and got rid of it because it was going to give me cancer, and I couldn't have colon cancer. Okay, so I apologize, y'all. No, I'm sorry. I just had somebody tell me yesterday that they were diagnosed with colon cancer. He is about a couple of months younger than I am, and diagnosed with colon cancer. So, ladies and gentlemen, ooh-wee, I wish y'all to pay attention to what's going on in our society. Okay. Um, as I told him, colon cancer is an environment thing. It's not, well, you didn't eat the right foods. That's not the issue. It has nothing to do with whether or not you ate the right foods because they're not providing the right foods. Give me a second. I am trying to do, not that. I don't want that one either. All right, I can live with that one. And the reason why I do that is because this is just a cover letter. Let me let y'all hear the cover letter because I got to hear it too. So y'all might as well hear it because this involves you. So 1 second.
This cover letter accompanies a formal petition for redress, memorial, and remonstrance, presented to you in your official capacity as the legislative branch. This petition constitutes the combined voice of more
than 1,700 individuals exercising their unalienable right to seek correction of a systemic wrong. The electronic signature system recorded each signatory's intent. Therefore, every signature is valid and on file, fulfilling and exceeding any numerical threshold for such a demand. The grievance is specific and criminal. The Federal Reserve System and its member banks are engaged in a continuous conspiracy to deprive Americans of property without due process of law by willfully ignoring the AT-PAR doctrine explicitly established by Congress. The Federal Reserve Act of December 23, 1913, 38 Stat. 251, Section 16, mandates that Federal Reserve notes be issued only upon receipt of collateral security, AT-PAR. The statute is unequivocal. The amount of collateral received must equal the face value of the notes issued. Title 4, 401, and 403, 13, of the same Act, 38 Stat. 265, 267, reinforce that instruments are received at PAR value. Congress has irrefutably established that promissory notes presented to the Federal Reserve are eligible paper and securities received as collateral at PAR value. Federal Reserve Act, 38 Stat. 251, 13. Despite this clear congressional mandate, the banking apparatus fraudulently treats these same notes as unpaid debts, using this fiction to foreclose upon and seize homes. This scheme operates as a conspiracy against rights under color of law, a federal crime under the Enforcement Act of May 31, 1870, ch. 114, 6, 16 Stat. 140, 141.
Give me 1 second. Wake up. Civil Rights Act of 1866. All caps that. Bold that. As well as lowercase that, the, stop listening.
The Supreme Court has long recognized that what is termed a loan is in fact the discounting of a note, not the lending of pre-existing funds. Milton v. United States, 71 CTCL 690, 698, 1931, First National Bank of Charlotte v. National.
I got to correct this too. Wake up. However, comma, a note that is received at par does not travel through the discount window process, comma, it is directly via Fedwire. All caps that, bold that, comma, because the term at par means at face value, and the deposit and the receipt means satisfaction of obligation by operation of statute and operation of law, exclamation mark. Stop listening. We're going to listen to it one more again.
When a bank receives a borrower's note at PAR through the Federal Reserve discount window, that note is monetized and extinguished as a debt obligation. The subsequent attempt to collect on that extinguished obligation is fraud. However, a note received at PAR does not travel through the discount window process. It is transmitted directly via Fedwire, because the term at PAR means at face value, and the deposit and receipt mean satisfaction of the obligation by operation of statute and law. Rebuttal of contrary presumption. A presumption may arise that this is a complex banking matter outside congressional purview or already addressed by regulators. This presumption fails as a matter of constitutional law. Congress created the Federal Reserve System. The statutes governing its operations are acts of Congress recorded in the statutes at large. Therefore, any systemic violation of those statutes is a direct breach of the law Congress enacted. The duty to investigate and correct such a breach lies with Congress. Marbury v. Madison, 5 U.S., 1 Cranch, 137, 177, 1803. It is emphatically the province and duty of the Judicial Department to say what the law is. When the law is being violated by an entity Congress created, the Legislative Department has...
Excuse me. It is not the province of the Judicial Department to say what the law is. Hold on. We got to take care of two things. So I'm going to let him continue in the background. Uh-oh, it's frozen in time, y'all. I can't do nothing. I got to wait. There we go. It's about time. Get on out of there.
When the law is being violated by an entity Congress created, the Legislative Department has a co-equal duty to ensure its laws are faithfully executed. A failure to act while possessing both the constitutional authority and a specific duty to correct a known wrong is not mere inaction, it is complicity. The term redress in the First Amendment is not a request for favor. It is a demand for the correction of a wrong. The Constitution imposes a duty upon you to receive this petition. U.S. Constant Amend. Your oath to uphold the Constitution includes the affirmative duty to protect the rights of the people from deprivation by any instrumentality, including one of your own creation. The criminal statutes that punish conspiracies against rights, such as the Ku Klux Klan Act of April 20, 1871, ch. 22, 2, 17 Stat. 13, were enacted by Congress to protect those very rights. Two petitions are hereby combined into one instrument, a petition to investigate and dismantle the fraudulent banking practice described, and a petition for Congress to fulfill its sworn duty to protect the property rights of the people from this ongoing theft. Your obligation is clear, non-discretionary, and immediate. Failure to acknowledge, receive, and act upon this petition for redress constitutes an abridgment of the First Amendment right to petition in a breach of the public trust. Such failure operates as a waiver of any immunity and admits the allegations contained herein. You are hereby on formal notice. Respectfully presented. Your name/organization name. On behalf of the petitioners.
Ladies and gentlemen, it did what I needed it to do. And oh, by the way, if you notice, that sounds like me. That don't sound like nobody else. Wake up. EeoN of the EeoN Foundation. All caps that. In their individual, self-autonomous, self-sovereign status and capacity. Sovereignty, hyphenate that, comma, stop listening. Don't you guys just love hanging out with me? That we just get to take this little trip like this and you get to sit up here and watch me do my job. And we're going to print 2 copies because they got to go one to the House and one to the Senate. I'm almost finished. I get to get out of here in a second. Hold on one second. Ladies and gentlemen, I decided to speak to Congress directly. I am telling Congress, hey, look here, you ignorant mother. Y'all admit it. Y'all violated our rights. Y'all said it in writing. You said at that time it was 40 years, but it's now 92 plus years. You confessed. And then you introduced laws documenting that confession. Okay? And I'm going to leave it got because it's got to be my language. Okay? And then I talk about Bradley Christopher Stark and what he was able to do, and Senator Rand Paul being involved in that. You want to ignore it? I don't have time. Now, I am not speaking on behalf of Bradley because he hasn't given me the authority to speak on his behalf. But as long as I know that that law is in place, and I got to put a comma here. Okay. Anywho, as long as I know that that law is in place, and it's still in place to this day because they haven't let it go. As long as we know that law is in place, then I'm going to raise issue to it. Now, they still have to bring about redress for those individuals who are part of that Bradley Christopher Stark. Oh, sorry. I got to do this right here. I got to save it. Y'all excuse me. And then I got to get out of here. Wake up. Remonstrance. Wake up. Remonstrance and memorial. All caps that. Stop listing. We ain't going to save it to nobody's clouds. All right. And now we need to print. Man, I've been printing happy today. This is the most I've printed in a year. Because I have the printer, but I don't need to necessarily print things. Well, the staff prints most of the stuff, so I go without printing. But that's why I said I'm getting ready to start printing. Oh, that was one. I'm sorry. I need another one, homie. Give me one more, because there's two of these. The Senate and the House of Representatives. They both need to be put on blast. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen if they ignore me? And you know how they like to ignore people? If they ignore me, then I am going to, by all means, give authorization for y'alls to get their attention. What do I mean by give authorization for y'all to get their attention? The complaint is online. I will eventually have each of you individually send a copy to them to let them know. That's called a protest. And it's a nonviolent protest, and it's very effective because they got to record each of those documents. So don't do it now. Don't do it now. Those of y'all who don't know how to listen, now it's not the time. If you have family and friends and other members, have them go to redressright.me. Redressright.me. Oh, this is mine, so we got to go to redressright.me. We got to go here. Have them go to redressright.me. Have them go to the memorial. They can either go to the memorial. Give me a second. It's verifying that I ain't no robot, because they don't want people just trying to overwhelm the site. And have them sign right here. Okay? Since I started this, several other people have signed up. So have them go in and sign. We took care of some glitches in the system, so you'll see that it will do a little bit better. Okay? Now, let's see. Congressional recognized sovereign citizen as identified pursuant to that act. Then United States citizen as defined under the Immigration and Nationalization Act. Now, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. We don't care about that Title 8 USC 1401. American citizen or constitutionally recognized sovereign citizen, because it's a statutory recognition, but it is still a recognition. So there you go. Become a signatory. Ladies and gentlemen, have those family and friends sign up. It ain't going to kill nothing. Oh, and by the way, just so that you understand, I'm out center. Not none of y'all. Not going to do that to y'all. When they retaliate, it'll be against me. And they will retaliate. That's okay. Let's see how they play, because I like to play too. Uh-oh, he's going to be in a movie. And this is not for me. I'm not doing this for me. Go ahead, read the petitions. This ain't about me. I do add my issues into the petition, but this ain't about me. Okay, if it was about me, I would have done this solely by myself. The way, well, Bradley Christopher Stark brought other individuals into his, but he didn't do it this way. He did something completely different because his attorneys had him do it. No, I'm doing what was done in 1972 when a group of individuals wrote their petition to Congress. All right, but look, I got to go. We'll talk about this in the future. We got some affidavit stuff to talk about and some arbitration stuff to talk about very soon. So stay tuned. Have a good day, everyone.